Krampus is a 2015 horror comedy movie, probably a few other genres, but that's main two, starring Adam Scott, Toni Collette, Michael Keckner, and quite a few other people. It's basically a film about this whole family, including the extended family. Basically, they don't really get along. They have different ideologies, different views. They're just very different people. They don't really get along. But they'll be forced to once this giant blizzard comes after the main character Max rips up his letter to Santa. Basically summoning this blizzard and Krampus and a few other like festive like creatures, some which you don't actually see fully, like the snow creature, and some which you, only see for a few minutes, like Krampus himself. But I'm not really complaining too much about that. It's a small complaint. It's made by the same person who made Trick or Treat, which I really like. I don't like this as much. I think it's a pretty good movie, like maybe even really great, but I have some problems with it, but I'm just gonna get straight into the movie. The film begins with all hell breaking loose in a store, and what I thought was Black Friday, maybe it is, I don't really know. Either way, we see our protagonist Max fighting some kids because of a reason we learn later. We also see his sister Beth filming and his parents getting him.
Yeah, but Victor Klinsky's always ragging on Christmas. He even told the first graders that Santa was just a cheap marketing ploy, invented to sell Pepsi. Coke. You know what I mean? But not why you care. Well, someone's gotta. Here.
Okay, 1, they're not the same thing, learn the difference, bitch. 2, that's the reason Max and the kid were fighting. And 3, I like how Max says, well, somebody has to care about Christmas, and now he's still a spirit, something he will soon lose in order for, all the plot to happen. We also learn how Max's parents, Tom and Sarah, Adam Scott and Toni Collette, Toni Collette was actually in Knives Out, which I really like. I believe there's a sequel, although I think it's just a prequel coming out. I think it still is Daniel Craig, which is cool. He was like basically the best part, although it's kind of hard to tell what is the best part of the movie because I really liked it. I was afraid I wouldn't like it as much on the second rewatch because I thought I had some problems, but nope, I still really like it. But yeah, in their marriage, they're having problems in their marriage with Tom still taking phone calls during this time. I mean, among other things, it's still one of the things that we first immediately see to see that there are some tensions in the marriage. But yeah, that's still one of the reasons. We see Max's grandmother, Omi, who speaks German.
Shit. For the last time, that was their dog.
They're why some people shouldn't be allowed to breed. Your words, Mom, not mine.
I never said that. So maybe they should have to take a test before they're allowed to breed.
That's basically the same thing, and I think we all know you know that as well. I mean, I know that's part of the joke, not listening to that as like a genuine complaint, because I'm not a dude that takes jokes seriously in a movie. Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's dumb. Like, no. I just feel like, not really playing along, but I just feel like pointing it out. Max asks Omi if she still believes in Christmas spirit, and while she's giving him a little talk about how St. Nicholas is what you make of him, among other things, she mentions sacrifice and is pretty weird about it, which is nice foreshadowing when we learn her backstory in this really cool animated segment. We then meet the rest of the characters, like the extended family, who don't get along with the first part of the family, although none of them really get along. But you'll learn what I mean. We meet Howard and his wife Linda and their 3 kids, Stevie, Jordan, and Howie Jr., who does not contribute jack shit to the plot. It's actually really confusing why he's even in the movie.
Toy car? Max is clean dog. A letter to Santa.
Video games? Phone?
And who also seems to have a hollow ass head because there's fucking nothing going on in there because he's just staring. He's the weirdest character. I'm actually a little confused again why they added in him. I mean, I get he's spoiled and he needs a lot, but maybe add a little bit more character because he literally contributes nothing. And the one scene where he gets taken away, all he does is fucking eat. Like, that's literally it. He just eats a live gingerbread man. I'm like, it's really confusing. I guess this is a genuine problem, just not a huge one, but still it's weird. There's also Aunt Dorothy, whose actress Conchata Ferrell, I think, passed away about a year ago. So, yeah, that sucks. Rest in peace.
Your sister's no Mother Teresa, but at least she swings by every once in a while to make sure that I'm not dead.
Now this line is kind of just depressing. So, yeah. Oh, and also there's Chrissy, who Linda and Howard forgot. Great job.
Come on, girls. Tommy, help me get the baby.
Do you mind? Thank you.
All right. Let's make some memories, huh?
Thank you, honey.
1. Orange the baby. Also, 2, what the fuck was that interaction? They're like, let's make some memories. He's just randomly going up to me like, let's make some memories. Like, I don't know if the line sounded better in the script or in one of the actors' head. It just feels a bit forced. It's a problem, but not a huge one. It's just kind of a weird thing I noticed. Like, let's make some memories. I can't tell if that was like, I don't know. It's really weird. Also, when I searched up the baby for this joke that I hopefully will do in the video, I found a video about Nikocado Avocado reacting to a video on him. Well, it's by me, Kenyon, because I subscribed to him, so it's suggested. And I'm only left with one question. This is off topic. How the fuck is he still alive? Like, his arteries might actually be more clogged than the Suez Canal and Kim Jong-un combined. Maybe even more than that, but what the fuck. Tom and Howard come back with Chrissy, and the 12 of them, although I guess 13 if you count the dog, Rosie, have dinner, because, yeah, she's also eating some of the food that they spill on the ground, which leads to one of them, I think Linda talking about, like, oh, she makes perfect food. That's so perfect, you don't understand, you know, what the names of it and stuff like that. Kind of like a jab at her, which is a bit of character development, I guess. Or just character. And we also learn about how different Tom and Howard are.
Little old ladies across the street. Am I right?
No. It's actually quite a bit of survival training. So...
Well, the only survival training I need is my old smoke pole and a big fat box of buckshot that I keep out in that truck. A shepherd has got to protect his flock.
Honey, we said no gun talk at the dinner table.
But with these, how can I not? Okay, this is fucking dumb. I don't know why I added it in. I spent like 10 seconds just like pushing these things. Whatever the fuck. I'm just throwing shit at the wall to see like what will stick. Back to the movie.
I'm at Christmas. What are you now? A Jew?
What? No, obviously she's not. How would she survive a shower? I'm a piece of shit sometimes. The two also talk in the kitchen where Dorothy, well, after she insults Sarah's creme brulees, I think, she fires back at her and she seems actually sad about her and feels bad, so it's kind of nice. I mean, it's not nice that she feels, well, it is technically because she feels remorseful for the kind of insult that, you know, she threw at her, even though she's like, you know, I don't mean it, but yeah.
You know, reindeer are actually a sustainable food source in the Northern Territories and Alaska, Canada.
Well, if we're going by Until Dawn logic, that's because there's so many fucking Wendigos and they'll eat just about anything. Reindeer included, so yeah. Maybe that's why. Stewie and Jordan find Max's letter to Santa and read it out loud, but Beth stops Max from doing anything, and the parents seem to basically disappear from existence, or just have their brains go on autopilot, as they barely react up until Howard and Linda get talked about. Oh, and Max's failing marriage. Max's parents' failing marriage, but that's just like Tom reacting for like 5 seconds. The other part that I mentioned, which includes Howard's wishing Stevie and Jordan were boys, end up in a brief fight. Not really a fight though, it's more like a bit of a tussle. It's very brief. Where Max finally gets his letter back. Also, I like to point out the child acting. It's pretty good. Like, I will admit, like, it's actually bad. It's maybe better than I was expecting. Like, it's all solid all around. Like, it's pretty good. So I will admit, that's like a definite plus. I didn't expect that to be a thing. I would actually like praise and be like, "Whoa, that's really good." But yeah, it's a thing that I actually like in this movie. So yeah.
Max! I'll lay off of him. Kid deserves a prize just for telling the truth.
What the fuck? I forgot he was still in this movie.
Tom goes to talk to Max, and I like how when he curses, like Max curses and says crap, he looks around to see if any of the relatives were here or anyone was here. It seems kind of realistic in what like a parent would do. It's small, but I like it and helps the movie feel more realistic along with playing other stuff. And while this part is just character building, it never fails to entertain me, and I like it. And I've only seen it twice, but still, I like it. It's entertaining. It makes it feel realistic and like an actual family, not just people playing a family. I mean, even if you can tell they're playing a family, they do it very convincingly. So yeah, they still have a combo which almost changes Max's mind, but after Tom leaves Max, he still rips the letter and throws it into the air and brings up a storm. And the next day, we see some creepy ass snowman, which Max just shows to Tom and Sarah. Tom asks if they could talk to some neighbors, and Sarah basically lists how they're fucked, as all the neighbors in the town are either gone or won't talk after Max's noodle incident. And since Max smiles when Tom asks about it, I'm inclined to believe something dirtier than what the writers intended. Either that or Max really loves shoving noodles up his neighbor's ass. Or something. It's still weird as hell. Beth leaves to find her boyfriend since he hasn't responded back, and finds Krampus, which is interesting since it's fairly early in the film, but I guess they did it because he doesn't appear for another 50 fucking minutes, which may not sound long and really isn't for this, but for this film, that's a long portion. Remember, it's only 97 minutes, with credits are probably 90 minutes or less. So, yeah. She hides under a truck but gets captured by a Jack-in-the-Box. Howard and Tom leave in Howard's Hummer, which he claims could be storming Normandy beaches by sunrise or whatever it was, to the truck in which Beth was captured, and sees how there's like a giant ripped hole. And I like how serious Howard seems after seeing it and realizes maybe his gun won't be able to save him or just won't do that much good, and how, again, how serious and dangerous this situation is.
Whoever did this is a demented son of a bitch.
Sorry to Sooty the Booty. Shut the fuck up. Is this one of the gingerbreads we see later on, or like one of his kinds? Because if so, that's raising some questions. Why is it dead? If not, why doesn't it react to being eaten by Howard? Why? Kind of curious why this house is desolate and basically attacked. Were they bad to unlock Christmas spirit? If one person in town loses it, does everyone suffer because the boyfriend didn't leave, but now he's gone along with the others? And if this isn't one of the gingerbreads we see later, why? It's a little random. Why is this a thing that happened? It's just a little weird. They leave, but Howard gets attacked by a snow monster thing that we never actually see besides the effect of it moving in the snow, which is still good, but I'm not saying it's cheap. It's just, I wish we kind of saw it. And somehow, Howard still has his legs, despite the nasty sounds the creature is making, biting him. To get back in the house without Beth, but Tom still thinks she could be out there. And Sarah sends Dorothy along with Howard Jr., Stevie, and Jordan to make peppermint schnapps. Although she pronounces it peppermint schnapps, so I don't know. Peppermint schnapps. Howie stares at her, but actually melts when he gets to drink the snap she made, because that's all he does. Eat. They board up. Howard apologizes to Tom for saying he's been a spineless dick all these years, and Max asks if they're gonna die. Tom saying no, because obviously a parent is gonna say yes, and Max brings up all how weird Omi's been acting lately, which will come back later in the animated scene I earlier mentioned. They all go to sleep, even Howard, despite him trying to keep watch for like a shift, with Tom supposedly going to take the second shift, well, according to their plan earlier. But either way, Howard's out as we get a really great scene because of a few reasons. So one, the music playing on the tablet, I don't know if I'm going to do the whole number thing, but the music playing on the tablet or whatever finally dies. Earlier, Linda and Sarah talked about how the thing's probably going to die, with Linda being like, might as well enjoy it. I mean, after Sarah asks, is it going to die or something like that? Which originally made it seem somewhat peaceful, where we see the house, but now feels cold, as all you can hear is some demented giggling as Howie Jr. finally does something. Yay! Oh, yeah, it's just like I mentioned, he just eats a gingerbread. Man. That turns out to be alive as he wraps a chain around him and pulls him up as the others wake up. Christmas tree burning as Howie gets taken. Okay, a few things. What the fuck? This thing is alive? Where is its brain? We saw the fatty eat some of his head and somehow did not react until after. Do they not feel pain? I mean, he was like, ah! But like, he didn't immediately react when he was biting his head. Someone doesn't bite your head and you don't really act until later. I mean, maybe, I don't know, I doubt it. And if so, why is it mad? I mean, why was it surprised when it decided to play regular old gingerbread and be hung by a hook? Did it not know? It did not even have its eyes closed. Do they sleep? So many questions.
So little time.
Everything is clearly in shambles now, but Omi uses his time to educate them on her story about Krampus and how people lost the spirit of Christmas. Her parents were no different, and how she wished for them to go away. She got her wish and was the only one left, Krampus giving her an ornament, which she still has to this day. She pulls it up like this. Howard calls it senile horseshit, which is semi-understandable, although your child did get attacked by something unseen with a chain, so maybe I'd believe. Although in his eyes, it could be seen as insulting, using his child's possible death to tell a twisted bedtime story. So yeah, he tries to leave and even pulls a shotgun on Tom, even though he likes him. Probably just to stop him from stopping him, I guess. But he lasts 5 seconds or so outside before going back inside because he sees more snowmen. They're actually really creepy. And something else which we'll come to learn are evil elves. At least I think those are the evil elves. Maybe what we see later are. I don't know. There's so many creatures in this movie, so who knows. When we talk to Stevie and Jordan, one of whom asks if they can stop all this, which is a good question. Honestly, here's the thing. Excuse me, my bad. Honestly, I get he comes after you or whoever you wish upon, but has anyone ever tried going back on their wish? Maybe not the last second, or get the family to learn the meaning of Christmas. I feel like that might happen. Doesn't it only come if you wish, or you don't have the spirit of Christmas? So if you actually have them learn it, at least in their eyes, and try to go back on the wish, maybe something like that could work. I mean, Max does do it later, but it's very late into the movie, basically the end. So yeah, I mean, we'll talk about how it does technically kind of work. So yeah, maybe like before so many people are captured and you've gone through all that mental stress. So yeah, Stevie and Jordan somehow get lured upstairs by a weird voice that they think is Beth, even though, like, how does that sound like Beth? It's a creepy addition to the movie nonetheless. Is when Tom and Sarah and Linda get up there, they find one of them being eaten by the Jack-in-the-Box that got Beth earlier, and Howard fights off against 3 gingerbread men, blowing up one, shooting one, and the last being eaten by Howard's dog, Rosie. The 3 upstairs find a bear, a toy robot, and an angel thing that they also fight off, although I think only one dies, the toy robot, which Linda basically slices in half, and Sarah shoots. I forgot to mention that in the script, Sarah shooting it. But yeah, she tries to get the Jack-in-the-Box, but fails as it goes into... Linda tries to get the Jack-in-the-Box, but fails as it goes into an vent, which I think for some reason has goo in it, which is a little weird. Also, why not try to follow it, or follow where the vents go by looking at it, you know, like maybe, you know, from a safe place, or obviously as safe a place in this house can be. Well, they send the dog Rosie to fight, but obviously it does not do that much, as I guess Rosie is also captured. I think she's at the end, so yeah. I mean, she didn't really do anything bad, so I don't know, I guess these things are unbiased. As the Jack-in-the-Box falls through the ceiling or whatever, and into everyone's field of view. The angel thing and bear also come and fight some of them, but Dorothy kills both of them.
Yeah, Dorothy? Finish it.
With pleasure. Oh, shit.
Okay, I mean, you still could have maybe shot it in its head, and maybe saved Jordan, or at least tried, but hey, at least you killed 2 of the evil toys, so badass character nonetheless. The evil elves, like I mentioned earlier, arrive, breaking part of the house like shown that cliff briefly, and take the baby Chrissy, Dorothy, but don't take Howard yet, but he decides to go on the Jack-in-the-Box being taken away with chains to where? That's a good question. I think we'll learn the answer to later, though I believe this is the last time we see the Jack-in-the-Box, so yeah. And this is literally where I stopped with the script, so I'm basically going to go basically off memory. So basically, I'm saying basically a lot. Omi decides to stay in the house while the others leave, and Krampus finally visits her, and finally is in the movie again. They exchange some glances, he opens a sack, and she gets in it. Tom shoots a snow creature, but I guess runs out of bullets, so he kind of like accepts his fate. He gets dragged down, so does Linda kind of randomly, and so does Sarah, but not after she gets, I think Stevie and Max into the car. She's taken. I'm a little foggy with the next events, what order they occurred in, but some elves get in. Max beats one of them up, but Stevie gets taken. Max sees Krampus, who gives him like the ornament, kind of like how he did with Omi earlier, but he's not content with that as he follows him to where Stevie still is, but no one else is, so I'm kind of curious where the hell they go after they're dragged by a snow creature, which actually racks up a few captures in this movie, more than I thought. And he's basically like, fuck you, this isn't enough, please let her go. He tries to like appeal to Krampus, but he basically laughs. He also is wearing like this mask of like a dead person or something like that, so that's kind of weird. But he looks a little dumb with his mouth just open or the mask open, but yeah. They drop Stevie, these creatures. I think there's evil elves and like these, basically like the evil horses almost. He also gets, Max also gets dropped down, but he's just like, oh, I wish Christmas was like how it used to be. And I guess that does, that's the nail in the coffin, because he wakes up, he thinks it's a dream. He goes out with everyone else there, including the dog, I think. He opens a present and turns out to be the bell or ornament. And I guess it turns out it wasn't a dream, just to them it would feel like a dream, but they're just being watched over, because I think it was confirmed that they're just being watched over. They're not actually stuck eternally repeating Christmas, so that's actually kind of a nice happy ending. It's still a little dark, but like at the same time it's kind of bittersweet, you know. It's traumatizing, but I guess they're all there, I think. I hope it's not some memory wiping shit, because that'd be fucking annoying. They're all there, they're aware, because they all make like, oh shit face, like that actually happened. So I guess they were like, oh, maybe it's just a dream. So yeah. I also realized that pretty much nobody got captured until literally an hour into the film, basically, besides 2 people, like Beth and Howie. But literally everyone else gets captured over an hour into the movie. So that's kind of interesting. Overall, this movie's great. It's really well directed. It's got good music. It's got a really great Christmassy feel. I'd recommend also buying it. It's well done. Pretty much almost every front. There's just some stupid stuff. It's not as scary and or funny as I thought, but it's still pretty funny. Like, it's overall a really great film that has a nice feel. I totally recommend watching it. Heck, even with your family. It's not that violent. It's just got a lot of implied violence. There's no nudity or anything like that as far as I remember. So if you're worried about that, understand, you know, watching it with your family. There's not any of that. Vanity, there's a little bit, but that's really it. They don't ever say fuck, so there's that. It's just well done. It's creepy at times. It's funny. It's a well done film. I recommend you watch it. I give it a 4 to 5 or an 8 out of 10, like a B plus, A minus. It's like really well done. Not as good as Trick or Treat, but still recommend you watch it. Very good film, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you next time whenever I do whatever. I might do 2012 because a new Moonfall movie's coming out. I might be like, why not cover a Roland Emmerich film? But who knows? Anyway, bye bye.